Hey, what's up guys? In this video we're going to be doing an old school method of parallel processing using the SSL channel strip from Waves. I'm just going to drop that in here and I'm going to right click, hit group, or I can hit Control G if you want to be fancy, and hit this little button here so we can see all of our chains. I'm going to right click and then duplicate, and then right click and then duplicate. So I have my chain of 3 SSL uh, channels running in parallel, not series. So the signal is coming in, being split up and run through all these, and then being summed into one piece of audio. And this is what they used to do. Like the SSL console, uh, it was very flexible for its time. It was extremely flexible. And what you would do is you'd have the same signal running into different channels, and those channels would be grouped together, and each of these would be affected differently, and they'd be affected with the filters. So we're going to start off with one of these guys here, and yeah, I think we'll just kind of leave it. This will be like our starting kind of dry channel, so we'll just kind of leave that. I'll disable that with that speaker there. I'll right click, return to default for our second chain, which will be this guy here. So yeah, I want to affect this in a in a way that yeah, I want to affect this in a way like I want to bring out the hi-hats. So let's just listen to this first. Right? Simple drums. Let's bump up the ratio. Let's go, yeah, 4:1, and then have a semi-fast release, and then I'll bring the threshold up because it's kind of like reversed, -20 or +10. I can also increase the input if I don't want to touch this. It's kind of the same deal, but yeah, we'll just do this. And we can see the gain reduction right here. And I can select the fast attack slider knob button thing. And this is very aggressive. And then from there, right, we have that. Quite a bit of gain reduction. What I can also do is add a high pass. So down below, that's out, so like the circuit is disabled. And as I increase, I'll effectively high pass everything. Because I don't want that to muddy up the mix. I believe it's an 18 dB per octave high pass filter. So yeah, let's just leave that. So I'll show you in theory. I'll bring that down. I'll play our original, which is the first one in our chain. That will be whatever color that is, orange. I'll introduce this guy, and I'll mix it into where it sounds kind of. Oh, I actually forgot one of the most important things. Forgot what I was doing. Actually, I'm gonna do that for the next chain because I'm gonna go crazy. So, yeah, let's play it. So the dry is playing, and then I'll increase the one I just affected. I'll mix that in by increasing the dB amount here. Right, that's what that sounds like. So I'll disable the whole effect rack. Right, we are clipping a tiny bit, so I'll just bring that down. Right, so we have another channel here. Let's click and bring that back up. We'll solo it. Open this guy up here. What this guy, listening to it, let me listen. This guy needs a bit of low end, so I will introduce a gate. This is our gate here. I'll increase the threshold. Right, So that's our gate, and it's kind of only coming in, not when the hi-hats are going. So this will kind of clean up the mix. I'm going to add a low pass filter. This is where you're going to get that classic parallel process sound from the SSL desk. I'm going to increase the low end. So this is a console style EQ. So you have the I guess the hertz range that you want to affect, and then you have the dB of that filter. You have a special, very wide sweep here, plus and minus 15 dB, which was pretty interesting for the day, and I guess the curve shape here, Q shape, I mean, for both of these, but this produces quite a bit of bottom, and I'll just kind of introduce it now. Right, I might experiment with a bit of compression right now. Then a little bit extreme, I'll have a fast attack. I can bypass the dynamics here. I don't know if this will sound great, but the beauty of it is, it sounds different. And yeah, it's all about kind of exploring. Let's add one more channel strip here, just to go a little crazy. I want something to affect a bit of the mid-range here. So I'm going to find, I don't know, maybe 4.5. I'll have I guess, and yeah, I'll leave it at that. And I'll just increase the dB. So the trick with these is to increase it to a very high point so you can pinpoint where it is with your ears. And then you adjust the range here, or the frequency. And this kind of forces you to kind of use your ears and kind of find things that you want. I'm going to compress this just for good measure. I'm going to use, somewhat. I'm going to go 20 to 1, something to add a bit of color. I'll also show you the trick. If you want to just leave that at 0, you can increase the input here. Alright, so let's kind of mix that in. Where's this one? This one might be a little too boomy. I think we can get rid of the dry signal. We might not need that. Let's select this one. Let's look fast attack. Yeah, this one makes it sound a bit more aggressive. And yeah, it's getting a little bit intense. So I'll just actually I'll just use the utility so we can kind of see what's going on here. The utility as well. Right? And when the drums were, being pushed through these four channels, they would be summed through the very flexible G comp, which is right over here, and this would be used to kind of glue it together. We'd have a kind of a fast release. So I'll group all these together. And this will create our little chain here. So yeah, so let's listen to what it sounds like with and without. I want to get in there. It might be a little bit too much high end, but you get the idea. And this was, they literally filled up the entire console. And these consoles are like longer than Ford F550s, like they're gigantic. And they have all of these channel strips in them. And if you look at pictures, you're like, yeah. And, they definitely used a bunch of them. And they used them in extremely creative ways. And that was many thanks to the really interesting filters, the compressor on each channel, and the gate as well. There's a lot of cool stuff going on, and then all being driven into the bus compressor to compress those all together and make it sound all neat. Yeah, that was fun. I hope you learned stuff. Take care and have a good one.